I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for
black bastard
like you. I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Motherfucker. That don't even make no goddamn sense.
Now, that was me making a little meme for a giggle, but the outrage mobs of Twitter believe that that is actually what Liam Neeson is like. And I gotta say, as we go through this, it is definitely a new low for the left and this bullshit outrage culture they've created. So if you don't know Liam Neeson, I really don't know what you're doing with your life. I mean, how could you not know him? He's definitely one of my favorite actors, and I cannot wait to see his new movie, Cold Pursuit.
He died of a heroin overdose.
My son wasn't a drug. He's gonna kill him with all these guys.
What makes you think you can kill a man?
I read it in a crime novel.
Cold Pursuit, rated R, in theaters February 8th.
So, him being one of my favorite actors, you can imagine my interest when I saw this tweet from Drunken Uncle. So, down the rabbit hole I go. The following may contain sensitive material. Fuck off, Twitter. I'm not one of those thin-skinned pussies that needs that warning. Never thought I'd have to cancel Liam Neeson, but here goes. How he ever thought he could say this without consequence is mind-boggling. The article headline? Liam Neeson carried weapon in hope to find a black bastard after her friend's rape. Well, since journalists never lie, there's no chance in hell this title is clickbait, or an exaggeration, or anything like that, right? Well, going further down the Twitter rabbit hole, we find an article by The Independent. Liam Neeson says he sought race-based violence after someone he knew was raped. Liam Neeson has revealed that he once walked the streets with a Kosh for days looking to kill a black bastard after someone close to him was raped many years ago. The actor shared the previously undisclosed story with The Independent during a press junket for his new film Cold Pursuit, admitting that he is now ashamed of his past. Well, why don't we listen to this audio and see what he had to say?
I'll tell you a story. This is true. I'm not going to use any names, but I was away and I came back and she told me she had been raped, but she handled the situation of the rape in the most extraordinary way. But my immediate reaction was, I asked, did she know who it was? No. What color were they? She said it was a black person. I went up and down areas with a Kosh, hoping I'd be approached by somebody. I'm ashamed to say that. And I did it for maybe a week, hoping some black bastard would come out of a pub and have a go at me about something, you know, so that I could kill him. And it took me a week, maybe a week and a half to kind of go for that. And she said to me, where are you going? I said, I'm just going out for a walk, you know. She said, what's wrong? No, nothing's wrong, fine. And it was horrible when I think back, but I did that. And I've never admitted that to it. I'm saying it to a journalist, God forbid.
Holy shit.
It's awful. But I did learn a lesson from it when I eventually thought, what the fuck are you doing, you know? And I come from a society, I grew up in Northern Ireland in the Troubles, and I knew a couple of guys that died on hunger strike, and I had acquaintances that were very caught up in the Troubles. And I understand that need for revenge, but it just leads to more revenge and more killing and more killing. And, you know, Northern Ireland's proof of that, you know. All the stuff that's happening in the world at the minute, the violence is proof of that, you know. So it's, but that's, yeah, primal need, I understand, you know.
You can relate to that.
Well, that was definitely interesting. But hey, he admitted that what he did was wrong, so I'm sure the masses will be forgiving. The next time someone asks me why I have a chip on my shoulder, I can say with all sincerity, because there may well be an Oscar-nominated actor out there who wants to kill me, so I have to be on alert at all times. Oh, for fuck's sake, it was 4 decades ago. He's not looking to kill anyone now, and he admitted on the fucking tape that what he did was wrong. Kevin Hart is out here losing gigs and being made to apologize over jokes he made on Twitter a decade ago, but Liam Neeson actually went looking for a black person to kill, and people are on here talking about that was long ago, and he found moral strength to overcome racism. Yes, Tariq, the most tolerant person on Twitter, we are saying that about Liam Neeson. But if you would take 10 seconds to stop looking for something to blame white people for, maybe you would see that the same people defending Liam Neeson were also defending Kevin Hart. Maybe you would also notice that the people that condemned Kevin Hart over jokes that he apologized for are the ones that are condemning Liam Neeson for something that he apologized for. And on a related note to this, I am defending Liam Neeson now, and I'm also going to be defending Kevin Hart in my next video, so subscribe if you want to see that. Liam Neeson said what he said. If his racist ass gets cancelled, that's really on him. My fellow BP have no business defending him. We need to stop making excuses for this type of foolery, especially not right now. You hear that, BP? Y'all are supposed to agree that Liam Neeson is racist, despite him saying that what he did was wrong and the fact that it was 40 years ago. And seriously, not even Liam Neeson was making excuses for what he did. He and everybody else that has discussed this has condemned his actions. The only reason we're defending him is because he apologized for them, and they are not who he is today. But anyway, that is a good segue into the people that came to defend Liam Neeson, because the first 2 that I saw come to defend him were actually black men. I believe that every person on Earth is capable of the greatest good or unspeakable evil. Liam is just describing his fork in the road. Thank you for that, Terry Crews. I think that is a very good point. Liam did have a choice. Continue down his road for revenge, which would lead to an innocent man or himself being killed, or seek help for the rage he was feeling and the prejudiced feelings that he was having towards black people for the actions of one disgusting black person. We also had former England footballer John Barnes, or former soccer player here in the civilized world, who came to Neeson's defense.
John Barnes, welcome to you. Was this somebody being incredibly candid about an awful moment in their life, or is this beyond the pale?
Well, first of all, I just want you to give me a few minutes, because I believe that Liam Neeson deserves a medal, and I'll tell you why. Liam Neeson, I've listened to the whole transcript. Liam Neeson was talking about his film Revenge, and he's talking about revenge doesn't do anyone any good. He mentions the fact that being brought up in Northern Ireland, he understands how destructive that can be. He went on to tell a story of a situation whereby a friend of his had been raped. Now, if you listen to everything he's talking about in the moment. And you can't blame Liam Neeson for thinking what he feels, because this is what, and this is a while ago, this is what society has shown him that black people do, Muslims do. This is what society has wrongly shown him. This is what the media have wrongly portrayed to him. So in that moment, he said for a week, he was going around looking to kill a black person or a black, and he did that in quotation marks. After a week, he realized he was wrong. That is what he said. I'm ashamed and horrified of the way I felt. Now, depending on how you want to spin this story,
I say we don't want to spin it, we want to think about it and ventilate it. It's an important subject.
No, it's been spun. What he's actually saying is that he's horrified and ashamed of the way he felt. He went on to say that. But you cannot blame him for thinking that, because I said earlier, with the whole Raheem Sterling talking about the influence the media has, you cannot blame people for thinking Muslims, because of Muslim grooming gangs, Jamaican yardie gangs, then look at Muslims and Jamaicans in a negative light. And he's admitting that that is the way he viewed it. So for this one black person who raped this woman, he then looked at it from the perspective of all black people are racists. Now, what he's actually saying is that this is what I thought, this is what I saw, and I am ashamed and horrified. And after a week, I said to myself, what am I doing? As much as people are now jumping on this bandwagon of how terrible it is, what he's done, he's come out and he's told the truth. I have more respect for him now than had he come out and said, I've viewed all black people as equal, I just view everybody as equal. What he said was, for a week, because of the stress I was under when my friend was raped by a black person, and because of what the narrative around black people and Muslims, and this is many years ago, surrounding the perception we have of them, I then wanted to kill every black person, because as far as I'm concerned, as I was taught, black people are racist. He said he was horrified and ashamed for thinking that. But that is not the story we're telling. We now want him to be pilloried. We want to never let him work again. People are now going to be afraid to tell the truth on how they feel. And I always say, we are all unconscious racists. And he said unconsciously for a week and a half, that's how he felt. Now, the big problem we have is this witch hunt is now going to stop the process of people now as in Rwanda, keep talking about our truth and reconciliation. Let's hold our hands up and say, I'm unconsciously racist. Don't blame me. This is what I've been wrongly told, which is what he's been said. And he's ashamed and embarrassed by it. So why is he being pilloried for it?
Now, John hit the nail on the head with this. Liam wasn't condoning his actions. He wasn't telling the story as if he had no problem whatsoever with what he did. He wasn't trying to defend his actions. He actually condemned his own actions. He was telling this story because he has perspective to show how going down the road of revenge is not a good road to go down. He was trying to explain how having something horrific happen to someone you love can cause you to do something absolutely horrific. But outrage mobs and blue checkmarks on Twitter don't want to see that. They only want to see the racist thing he did. They want to pretend that Liam still holds those views today. That way they can condemn him as a racist on Twitter for the false illusion that they're doing something good in the world, when really all they're doing is stirring the pot that will continue this cycle of hatred we see in the world today. Such as Piers Morgan, who condemned John Barnes for defending Liam. Sorry to see John Barnes ducking Good Morning Britain to then hammer on me on This Morning. Even sorrier to see him still defending Liam Neeson, who deserves universal condemnation for his admission of murderous racism, not a bloody medal. And no, I don't have to be black to say this. Well, first off, you absolute fucking moron. What murderous racism did Liam commit? As I recall, he wanted someone to start shit with him, but he didn't actually fight or kill anyone. Also, why does he deserve universal condemnation? Did you not hear the part where he said what he did was wrong? Did you not hear him say that he was horrified by his own actions? Are we not allowed to have ever done anything wrong that involved racism? I'm not saying that it's good what he did. You will not see me defending what he did. But the fact that he admitted what he did was wrong, and the fact that he himself is horrified at what he did, does not constitute the need for universal condemnation. Seriously, the left has sunk to the point where confessing that you did something racist, even if you admit that it was wrong, you are not allowed forgiveness or redemption. Nope, you're a racist forever. And to the people that carry that opinion, I have to ask, what point is there in discussing how to end racism if you don't believe that someone can turn away from their racist views? If that's the case, then there's no point in discussing how to end racism or even trying to end it at all, because according to that logic, it's always going to be there. Now, obviously, I don't believe that's true, but if anyone comes to this video with that opinion, I want you to sit back and rethink your views. Moving on, however, Liam came to Good Morning America to clarify his statements. I'll play a few of the clips that are important here, but I will link the full video in the description if you want to see the whole interview.
We were doing a press junket, and it was, you know, the topic of our film is revenge, and it's a dark comedy too, but its base is revenge. And the lady journalist was asking me, how do you tap into that? And I did it for, I'd say maybe 4 or 5 times, until I caught myself on. And it really shocked me, this primal urge I had. It shocked me and it hurt me. I did seek help. I went to a priest. I heard my confession. I was reared a Catholic. I had 2 very, very good friends that I talked to. And believe it or not, power walking. Power walking? Yeah, 2 hours every day. You to get rid of this. And I'm not racist. This was nearly 40 years ago. I was brought up in the north of Ireland and brought up in the Troubles.
The religion?
Yeah, there was a war going on in the north of Ireland. One Catholic would be killed. The next day, a Protestant would be killed. One Catholic pub would be bombed. A Protestant pub would be bombed. I grew up surrounded by that.
Something I want to point out here, because I've seen people that are too stupid to realize what he's saying here. He's not trying to excuse his behavior by the fact that he grew up in Northern Ireland. He's explaining the fact that he grew up during a time where there was a war going on that was basically a bunch of eye for an eye bullshit, and that affected his thinking when he found out his friend was raped. Somebody did something awful to somebody he loved, so he went out to do something awful to somebody else in retaliation. That does not excuse his behavior, but it does explain it.
That you asked about color, that you didn't ask if the person was tall or short, big or small. That you
I did
went to
actually.
race.
I asked all those questions too. I did. But I did ask about race, yeah.
Would you have had the same reaction if your friend had said it was a white man? Would you want her to go out and kill him?
She'd have said an Irish, or a Scot, or a Brit, or a Lithuanian. I know I would have had the same effect.
But what are you hoping that people will learn from you making these statements?
To talk, to open up, to talk about these things, you know.
You're admitting that it was wrong. You've learned from that. but you have to also understand the pain of a black person
Of course.
hearing what you said.
Of course. Absolutely.
That.
You're absolutely right.
Which I wish we had time.
Violence breeds violence. Bigotry breeds bigotry.
Now, I think this should be case closed. He stated he's not racist. He again clarified that he is ashamed that he ever thought the way he did, and he's horrified at what he did. He even stated he understood why black people would be horrified by his statement. The left is now sending the message that if you ever did something racist, you will never be forgiven for said racist action, and you are a racist for the rest of your life. Don't bother renouncing your racist views or turning away from your racist behavior, because the left will not accept that. Now, obviously I'm just taking the piss. I do believe that people can be forgiven for their past actions, and I do support anyone who seeks to better themselves, whatever they did in the past. Don't give in to this bullshit idea of no forgiveness or no redemption. We will never learn from our mistakes if we can't learn how to forgive our fellow man. So anyway, this was a new type of video, and I hope everyone enjoyed it. If you have any comments, critiques, concerns, whatever, just leave them in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this type of video, please hit the like button. Share it with your friends and family if you so wish. If you're new to this channel and you like what I had to say, please hit the subscribe button. Tap the bell to hopefully get notified, because YouTube is kind of iffy on that as well. You can follow me on Twitter at hey_dude77, and I will see you all in the next video. Catch y'all later.